Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's Elliot Brown here in the Essex Business Radio studio, as always. And this is another one of my very special podcasts that I've been doing, C-19, How We Deal With It. Again, if you haven't heard this already, I put a post out on social media. I had a lot of people respond to me, not just here in the UK or Essex, but globally as well, worldwide. And it's very much about how we're dealing with the challenges that have been thrown at us in the last few weeks. What we're doing to adapt, adopt, and improve. I love that phrase. I'm going to keep using it. And also some advice and ideas and support that people have. And today I've got Lori Reising joining me from let me double check this, in Portland, Oregon, in the USA. Hi, Lori. How are you?
Hello. Hi, Elliot. I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
You're very, very welcome. Thank you very much for joining me on this. I'm excited about this. We've had a little chat before the show, or before I started recording, as I do with everybody, because and I feel like we've got to know each other already in that short space of time.
Absolutely, I'm in. I dig our energy. Let's do this.
Let's do this. That's great. So tell me. So the Raw and Wild Hearts podcast. This isn't obviously your key business. This is something quite new. So tell me about what you do and what you were doing as your day job, so to speak. What you've been doing for many years.
Okay, so my day job for the last 20 years, I have been a bodywork therapist, and my focus is in pelvic floor therapy and John Barnes myofascial release.
Right.
I'm also an educator. I'm a retreat leader, a speaker, and a hypnotherapist.
Wow, you've got some strings to your bow, haven't you?
Yeah, I wear many hats.
and you've been doing that for 20 years.
Yes.
And you've got a good customer base, good client base, as I should say. I mean, how are you dealing with these people? I'm assuming that's quite one-on-one. Some of the work that you do normally.
Absolutely. Pretty much my entire financial business was one-on-one.
Yeah.
Up until now, which I'm hoping to make some pivots, I guess, or adoptions, adaptations. But yeah, it's been one-on-one in a treatment room for mainly those 20 years. I have incorporated retreats, which gets me more into, 1 to 10, something like that.
Sure.
But that involved a lot of international travel. And so that's kaput as well.
Right.
So everything just ended in a second. I remember thinking that as things were flowing, I was like, if I keep up sanitary practices, I'm really diligent about that. I can keep going. And then it was like within a day, done, zero. Wow.
Yeah. Big change. Mm-hmm. So internationally, you've got clients sort of internationally as well, have you?
Well, when I do retreats, the last retreat that I did, almost all of the participants were from Canada. So that was exciting. That was a fun little retreat to do. So
cool.
when people hire me to do their retreats, I kind of just go, and I don't know where, people come from all over.
Yeah.
And I was planning on getting my retreats going next winter in Costa Rica, but I've just kind of put that aside for now because, I have no idea what that's going to look like.
Yeah, of course. So you're now doing very similar to this, are you? Doing a lot of your work through Zoom or through other channels like that?
Yeah, I was hoping to make some changes quickly to do more hypnotherapy through Zoom and do more wellness consultations through Zoom.
Yeah.
But I think the universe has different plans for me because none of that is happening.
Oh, okay. So, interesting.
Yeah, I feel like the universe is kind of like, we need you in different places. So I'm really focusing on my podcast at this point.
Yeah.
I'm working on a pelvic floor webinar so that I can get actual at-home care and education for the masses through my website. And then I also have a book that I have been meaning to write for quite some time that I think it's time to get on that, get on the old keys.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of that coming out of it. There's a few people I know that I've seen posts on social where they're saying they've been wanting to write a book for years and this is the perfect time to do it. And let those creative juices flow, so to speak, if that's the right way of terminology. We'll go with it.
I'm into the creative juices. I feel like what I told you before is I feel like we're in this great surrender.
Yeah.
And as we surrender and kind of let go of this illusion of control that we've been moving through,
yeah,
it actually frees up those creative juices. They start flowing in a whole different way.
Yeah. And you said before we started recording, you were excited by the changes and things, and my response to that was that, I think there's a lot of us that we look forward and, entrepreneurial, or I know you don't necessarily do the business sort of shows and things like this, which are, so I really do appreciate you coming on and sort of, broadening your horizons, which I think is great. And, but we look at these things as entrepreneurs, as people that are, enterprise wise or whatever. And we don't necessarily get surprised because we know what we're doing. We sort of plan and we, or even if it is going with the flow, but at the moment we don't have that. So it's intriguing, isn't it? It's there is an excitement, I think. And I think, listen, one of the reasons I wanted to do this is because I want to see what people are doing, how they're embracing the change, which I keep doing the hashtag embrace the change. Don't you think that? Don't you think that's right? We've got to embrace this. We've got to get excited by it and go with it,
Absolutely. If we resist it, then we're kind of just shooting ourselves in the foot.
Yeah.
Like this, I think the most exciting part about this is that it's collective.
Yeah.
It's collective globally.
Yes.
And so it actually kind of gives you this invitation to embrace what's happening without so much fear. Because if it's happening to us personally, we have the fear of the loss of business, of the loss of control, of the loss of our homes. But when this is happening on a global level, then we actually have a different kind of support system through it.
Yes, definitely.
Now, of course, I don't wish that there was the virus that's attached, because that is going to bring great suffering.
Yeah.
And, I think that's why I want to get my message out even more at this point through my podcast and through self-care and, bigger webinars, is because what we can access through that creativity right now is we can access our immunity and our innate medical health that we were born with.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because we've given away that power so much to a medical system because that's all we really knew.
Yeah.
And so now we're isolated and quarantined at home. And what can we do? But we can boost our immunity, and we can learn how to do that. We can drop in and dive deeper within to actually take the time to change our health in our own power.
Yeah.
This is a really empowering time for people.
I love that. I love the way you that you look at this. This is it's inspiring. It is inspiring. I have to be honest with you. Yeah, definitely.
Like I told you before, like I've been prepping for this for years.
Yes.
Like I have been teaching about surrender for years. So I'm like, all right, it's go time. This is global now. Yeah. Like this is my time to like really get this message out. Yeah,
for sure. So how is it? I mean, how has it changed your day-to-day life? I mean, what have you sort of had to change? Obviously, you're used to going out and seeing people, so there's a big change there. But what impact has this had on you in your personal life so far?
Well,
if you don't mind me asking.
No, funny enough, I am single, and I had taken the last 10 months to not date because I was dating my podcast.
Okay, yeah.
so when
which is a full-time affair.
It is a full-time affair. And so I think, oh man, how long is it going to be before I actually get some cuddle time,
It's a bloody good point. Yeah, it's a very good point. Yeah.
Yeah, I might be reborn again by that time.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to affect that side of things, that's for sure.
Yeah, but for my clients and my business life, to be honest, I actually saw a lot of my clients in my home. I have an in-home practice.
Yeah.
So I wasn't leaving my home much anyway.
Of course. Yeah.
The only difference is my clients aren't coming in anymore. So I'm alone. Yeah. But I'm still doing all of the business work that I've always done because my office has been at home. And so for me, it wasn't this huge shift of
that a lot of people are feeling.
Suddenly having the loss of being in the outside world and commuting and going to a job. And so I guess I would say I've had it a little easier that way, and maybe that's why I've rolled with these changes so quickly. Yeah, because I didn't have to go through that grief process of those kinds of losses. And I think we're all going through a collective grief process.
Oh yeah
about many different types of losses. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. I think you're absolutely right. I think there's going to be knock-on effects that we're probably not even necessarily considering right now, but I don't know about you, and I haven't really spoken about this on any podcast, but there's certain days where certain things happen, a bit of news comes through and you think, shit, it's real. You sort of, I a bit like you. I mean, the business and everything is run from next to where I live. So, the whole isolation thing hasn't really had a massive impact on me. But then you go to a shop and you see somebody dressed in some pretty interesting gear. And that's when it you sort of think, well, this is, there's some people taking this pretty seriously. So what advice and ideas have you got for people? I mean, mindset wise, I mean, listen, this isn't about what I think mindset is, but what is it that you would be advising people? And you must be doing this already over the last week or so. What have you got to sort of help other people to sort of get through this and to not just get through this now, but prepare themselves for what's to come as well, I suppose?
Absolutely. Like I said, I think this is the great surrender, and it's really our time to shine in our flexibility.
Yeah.
So we developed this culture of control.
Yeah.
And we didn't have a lot of flexibility in it. And that's actually innately in us, this creativity and this divinity and this ability to change.
Yeah.
But we created a culture that wasn't cultivating that.
Of course.
And so I think that this is our time to really drop in, like I said, and dive deep and rediscover our magic.
Yeah.
And these innate abilities that we were born with.
Yeah.
That, kind of get muddled up, or they get covered up, or they get, pushed to the side.
Yeah.
But I also think, being gentle, like right now we have to be gentle with our process, because there is a lot, there can be heaviness, there can be excitement, there can be fear, there can be anticipatory grief going on. So it's really just allowing yourself to feel, but also remembering our immunity is so important right now. And the biggest key to your immunity right now is you.
Yeah.
And I think that we are getting this amazing opportunity to reconnect with that and rediscover that. So,
okay.
I guess.
Let me expand on that. So, my immunity. So, what do you mean? But that we can in what way can we maybe enhance our immunity? How do you see that? I mean, I'm intrigued.
Oh my gosh! Number one, first and foremost, stress.
Okay.
So I will tell you
the two things
that. Yeah, I believe the two things that have.
You're telling me this directly, or is this to everybody? You
this
probably
to
directly
everybody. Well, stress has become such a normal part of our culture.
Oh, I know. It's difficult not to get stressed sometimes. It's almost like a natural reaction now.
Right, it's a daily event, and so I believe two of the biggest contributors to our disease are stress and refined sugar.
Yeah. Okay.
Like that's my belief. And so, as a hypnotherapist, but we also have an innate ability to heal. Yeah. And so, that's why I'm saying, allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. It's very valid, but also, try to work on moving through and, instead of staying on one side, like get through it, get under it, look at it, seek information out and education. And that's where I think right now, because we've just stopped this timeline that we're on. So now we have all of this time to look at what is the thing that drops you into your parasympathetic nervous system, which is, your immunity.
Yeah.
What gets you out of the fight or flight? Because we're going to feel it, and we always have.
Yeah.
But now you have the opportunity to find those beautiful avenues that you have within yourself to move through stress.
Sure.
And you have the time to move through it quickly. And so as you're dropping in to relaxation, so it's really just discovering what is it that relaxes you and making that a practice.
Okay. I like it. And people can hear a lot more about this in your podcast, I'm assuming. So you sort of go into this in depth.
Absolutely. I just put out 2 hypnosis for people that can't get out of that fight or flight on their own yet, which I think that there's probably a lot right now that can't, because there's a lot of scary stuff happening.
And there's going to be a lot of people that nobody else realizes they can't get out of that as well at the moment, because of course this isolation there's going to be, I think there's a knock-on effect from that as well. There's going to be a lot of people that can't reach out at the moment, don't even feel they can. Can't talk normally, but maybe even come into contact with people, and now they're not. So of course, utilizing something like your podcast, where they can do that, they can reach out, they can get that information, I think is going to be absolutely key to helping a lot of people.
Exactly. We're so blessed that we have technology right now, because it is keeping
more
us
than
connected.
Ever.
Yeah, more than ever. And, like I say with my hypnosis, if you feel incapacitated right now, just push play.
Yeah.
You just push play. You just listen to the words, even if you can't do anything else. But honestly, if you're really feeling incapacitated to a very deep degree, reach out, call. There are hotlines. There are people that are still available to talk. They're fantastic. There's so much fantastic help. And I've seen all kinds of online programs for free right now.
Oh God, there's loads. Listen, it's all about free stuff right now. You don't want to be selling anything at the moment, that's for sure. It is all about getting as much, and there's so much content, and it's there. There's an encyclopedia available at your fingertips 24 hours a day,
and it's beautiful. This is what I'm talking about. This is the innate capacity for people to connect in community. We're doing it more now in isolation than we ever did before, because we didn't have time.
It's madness, isn't it? It's mad.
Yeah. And so what I'm saying is, look at what we're accomplishing and look at what we're doing in connection right now.
Yeah.
We can change the world. We can change our systems. We can develop new systems based in this culture of community.
Yeah.
That, not so much in currency and more in community.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, let's look at this. Let's dive in. Let's go through our process, but let's not let this go.
Yeah.
Like, this is definitely special. It's special what's happening right now. It
is. It's a time for big change. As I said, disruption and change creates opportunity, and I absolutely stand by those words. I sort of penned it the other day, and I thought I'm going to do a post about it. It genuinely is. It absolutely is. I think you've got to absolutely grab that. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I think we're going to have to continue this conversation one-on-one ourselves, actually, and maybe we'll even revisit this and see how things are going, maybe over time. Where can people find your podcast then? Where can people find you?
Yeah, so I'm at therawandwildhearts.com.
Yep.
I'm on almost all major podcast platforms.
Yep.
I'd say those are 2 of the easiest ways. On Instagram, I'm at The Raw and Wild Hearts, keeping it easy across the board.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, we're going to make sure there's links on our posts as well. And I'm definitely going to be taking a listen to your podcast and checking those out. I love your energy. I love the way you come across. And I feel like I've made another new friend across the pond, which is great.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm super into your energy as well. And I'm excited for this collaboration. And let's keep elevating, through hard times and through change. Definitely. And thank you for doing what you're doing, because this is going to be really big for people.
I just know it's my absolute pleasure. It's a very small thing that we can all do, and if we all do a very small thing, then we're going to be moving forward again. And that's we already are.
Exactly. I just posted that on my Instagram.
Did you?
Every small act you do combines with every small act I do, and we keep building. So
I didn't even know that. Yes. And you know what? We're there. We're there. Lori, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much. And
thank you.
What time of the day is it there?
It is 9:30 a.m.
9:30 a.m. now. Well, listen, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very, very much. I look forward to it. We're going to keep in contact anyway. That I'm sure of. Good luck with your podcast and everything else you're doing. And keep well and keep safe.
Yes. Thank you so much, Elliot. Have a beautiful day.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Big love to you. As Lori Reising there, and from Oregon. It's Oregon, isn't it? Portland in the USA. So I'm going to be signing off for now. Another very, very interesting podcast. Thank you very much for joining me. Audio, video, however you're doing it. We're going to have some links around there so you can find Lori and see what she's saying and what she's doing as well. But for now, I'm going to sign off. So it's ciao for now. Brown cow.
Thank you.